Okay, so what we have here is a camera rig. I'm going to just collapse the building geometry. Uh, this is just a null containing these simple shapes and stuff. I just built a real quick scene for this, and let's take a look. Used for the camera animation, used a camera rig set up with some user data. What I have down here is the user data, and the way I've done that is taken my controller, and when I had the user data I just let's close this. So click on the controller, go to my user data, I can pop out another window, and so here is my user data window, and I can grab this little handle here and drag it down below, and it automatically locks itself when I do this. So now I have this user data down here no matter what I'm clicking on, and my user data stays here. So I am going to go in and just delete these keyframes for my controller, and there's one more that's not showing up. The camera bank is different, so I'm going to delete these keyframes. And so that will give us a fresh timeline. I also dock my timeline down here, but sometimes I want to pop it out. You see here I have my timeline. Okay, so let's take a look at this target camera rig. First of all, I made a null to hold my espresso tag and my user data. And then I have a camera, and the camera I've added a target tag and a line to spline. And then I have some camera soft lights. And what I did was just two planes with illuminate material on those. And I put those two into a null and then made them a child of my camera. So let me show you. I have made them so they're not showing up in the editor. But what that is if you look at my camera, I did this just so that it will add some luminance and something to reflect where the camera is. So that's just something you can do in there. And what I did was I can disable them so that they're not showing up in the render here in my user data. So camera soft lights disable is checked. So now if let's see, I haven't tried this, but if I render, you see they're not showing up in the render. And if I uncheck it, you can see now they're showing up. So you can have those or not have those. I recommend, if you're not using shiny objects, that you turn them off. Okay, so that's my camera soft lights. I have a camera spline, and what this is just a circle spline, and the radius and the Y height is controlled by user data, and the align to spline tag is referencing the camera spline. And then I have my null, which is in the center of my scene, and I can move that null around to point the camera at it, and you see that the camera follows that. So let's take a look at our user data here. So go to my control, and I'm going to stay out here, and I have the banking of the camera, and let me go ahead and look through the camera and you can see what that does. Now, I made this for fine-tune banking. It only goes -15 to 15, so it's a really fine. You get fine adjustments to it. So just a couple of degrees at a time if you want. If I would have left this at 0 to 360, you would have, every time you moved this, it would move a lot. So the camera heading is controlling the position of the align to spline so that you can go all the way around your object. Right now it's 0 to 100%. I may change that because what happens is you may want to go more than that. And let's see, will it? Yeah, it won't let you go more than that. So let's take a look at that real quick. User data, manage user data, camera heading. I'm going to uncheck limit minimum and maximum and click OK. Now what that does is inside my box, whoa, no, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's not do that. Let's go back in, user data, manage user data. It's a percent still. Okay, so why don't I put this at -100 and see if that gives me more and see if it breaks it. So now I can go a little more than 100% rotation. Now because I'm referencing the align to spline position, it is percent and not degrees. So that's why my camera heading user data is referencing percent. Okay. The camera height. Now because I am pointing at a target, when I adjust the height, it also adjusts the pitch of the camera. If we back out of the camera, you can see what that's doing here. See how it's raising the camera up and down, but it's pointing at the null object. So, and then the camera zoom adjusts the radius of that spline. So let's bump that up a little bit, and so we can zoom in on our object. So if, say, I got real close, I could then lower my height. So we get something like that. Okay. Now notice, there we go. Okay, so that's this camera rig. I'm going to wrap this up in a library file so that you can pop this in to your library. Go to your Cinema 4D, your Maxon folder, and go to your library folder and drop that into your browser, and what that will do is have it show up here. And there you go. Enjoy.